with that ambulance as well. Another very important piece of information: yesterday we used the mobile app, which is something that has been a very good tool for us. During the second breakout session, we tested the polls figure and the polls feature, which was used by Peter Skerrich, and was amazing. I understand also that there were a few people who slid into the DM on the app yesterday and got some deals done. There were people who were able to locate MDs of various banks, and this is something you can do today if you didn't do that yesterday. Just open the mobile app. If you don't have it already, the QR codes are to your right and to your left. I'm sure it will be put up on the screen as well. Just scan it, visit the ACI World Congress app. You have all the information on the sessions we are having, the running order, the profiles of our speakers and our panelists, every little detail that you need. The evening soirees, the dinner we're going to be having tonight, the beach party tomorrow, which I'll talk about. Just look to that app and you have all the information there. But very importantly, let's get some business done. Talk to somebody, hit them up on the app, and let's do some business.
Absolutely. I would like to especially recognize the presence of the central bank officials with us today. Dr. Yamungu Kayandabila, Deputy Governor for Economic and Financial Policies of the Bank of Tanzania, Mr. Jimmy Appa, Director of Financial Markets for the Bank of Uganda, Mr. Isaac Muhanga, Chief Operations Officer for the Central Bank of Zambia, and Mr. Garlington Maria, Deputy Director of Financial Markets of the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. Now, to get the day started, yes, please, let's
celebrate them. Representatives of central banks across the continent who are here with us. We celebrate you.
Now, to get the day started, please help me in welcoming the hands, the feet, the brains behind this historical event, the local organizing committee and co-chairs of the 2026 ACI World Congress held here in Ghana, Kofi Kodwa Sarpong, Gloria August, and Stephen Atikosi. A round of applause for them, please.
Put your hands together. Let's celebrate them. These are the leaders of the team that made this happen. Our local organizing committee chairperson. Thank you. People coming side by side. Africa, we full of life. Hands up to the sky.
Distinguished guests, Your Excellencies, Governors and Deputy Governors, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. And welcome to Day 2 of the ACI World Congress 2026 in Accra, Ghana. On behalf of the local organizing committee, my fellow co-chairs, Gloria August, Stephen Atikosi, and myself, Kofi Kodwa Sarpong, I warmly welcome you as we continue this important global conversation under the theme, Elevating Markets, Empowering People. Yesterday marked an important milestone for both Ghana and the African financial markets community. We officially opened the Congress that has brought together policymakers, regulators, market practitioners, and industry leaders from across the world to engage on the future of global finance. Day 1 delivered thoughtful discussions on the changing architecture of the global financial markets. We were privileged to hear from the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Esiama, whose address challenged us to think about Ghana's role within a new era of financial market development and integration. Throughout the day, delegates explored critical themes including global liquidity, capital flows, leadership, market resilience, and the balance between profit, purpose, and people. Our breakout sessions on artificial intelligence, human capital, and the future of financial markets reinforced the key message: technology may transform markets, but people remain the center of trust, resilience, and long-term growth. Day 1 also highlighted the importance of collaboration between regulators, institutions, and market participants in navigating an increasingly interconnected and rapidly evolving financial market. Ladies and gentlemen, today we build on that momentum. Day 2 focuses on monetary governance, digital transformation, financial stability, inclusive governance, diversity in markets, and the future of regulation in a digitally connected financial ecosystem. As hosts, Ghana remains committed to advancing market development, professional standards, ethical conduct, and regional cooperation across financial markets. Hosting this Congress reflects Africa's growing importance within the global financial system and our collective ambition to help shape its future. To all delegates joining us from across the world, thank you for your presence, your partnership, and contribution to this Congress. As we begin today's Congress and programs, let us continue to exchange ideas openly. Let us strengthen relationships and work together towards a more resilient, innovative, and inclusive financial market. Welcome again to Day 2 of ACI World Congress 2026. Thank you.
Thank you. These are the leaders of the team that's been working day and night to make this happen. Please, let's appreciate them once again. Talking about the team that's made this happen, we've seen so much talent at play. You usually know them during the day as traders, as fund managers, as back office and middle office personnel. But it's amazing to see the talent at play. Both of your MCs are financial markets professionals as well. We've seen people on the technical side. Guess what? The mobile app for this event was developed by an ACI Ghana member who is a fund manager by day and he does his coding at night. His name is Selom Selawaka. Please give it up for the whole of the ACI organizing team that has made this possible. We appreciate all of you. Thank you. We want to use this opportunity to take some goodwill messages. As a financial market, we don't work in isolation. We work with regulators, we work with the stock exchange, and we work with other associations to make this happen. In the course of the next couple of minutes, I'm going to mention a few organizations who take turns to give us their goodwill message. We'll begin with the Securities and Exchange Commission. We'll take the Ghana Stock Exchange, the Ghana Securities Industry Association, CCT, and then the Ghana Association of Banks. So I'm going to mention the first one, and once it's done from my end, I'll mention the next, and we'll take turns. The Securities and Exchange Commission is represented here by the Director General, Honorable James Aveji. Please put your hands together as Honorable comes forward to give us the goodwill message from the Securities and Exchange Commission.
Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, I want to stand on the existing protocol to deliver a brief solidarity message to the ACI World Congress 2026. The Securities and Exchange Commission would like to congratulate the ACI Financial Market Association for organizing the ACI World Congress 2026 here in Accra, Ghana. As a professional body that combines membership, services, education, and ethical governance to support the advance the wholesale financial market community globally, the choice of Ghana for the Congress is a demonstration of the global recognition of the role of Ghana in the advancement of global market. We also extend our warm solidarity message and commendation to the association. On our part as SEC, we are steadfast and committed to building a financial ecosystem that is innovative, resilient, and inclusive. In an era of rapid digital transformation, our leadership has been instrumental in positioning Ghana as a forward-looking jurisdiction within Africa's evolving financial landscape. Our proactive approach to embracing financial technology has created fertile ground for innovation by fostering an environment where digital solutions can strive. We are not only modernizing market infrastructure, but also expanding access to capital for businesses and entrepreneurs who might be previously underserved by the traditional financial system. At the heart of our mandate as a security regulator lies a profound dedication to investor protection. In a digital age where complexity can obscure risk, our vigilance ensures that market participants, whether seasoned institutions or first-time retail investors, can engage with confidence, knowing that robust safeguard and regulatory regime are in place to protect their investment. The trust that underpins any capital market rests upon integrity. Our regulatory rigor and commitment to transparency have strengthened Ghana's market, deter misconduct, and reinforcing the credibility that attracts both domestic and international investors. Our vision of inclusivity is the most commendable. By lowering barriers to entry and promoting broader participation across Ghana's diverse population, we are democratizing access to wealth creation and ensuring that the benefit of capital market development reach all segments of our society. As Ghana's financial system continues to evolve, our balanced approach, enhancing innovation while anchoring it in strong regulatory foundations, serves as a model for the region. We therefore stand with you to achieve the goals of the association at this conference and look forward to the continued growth and resilience of Ghana's capital market and beyond. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Securities and Exchange Commission. Our next Goodwill message will come from the Ghana Stock Exchange, from the MD, Ms. Abna Amwa, who is here represented by the Head of Marketing and Public Relations, Mr. Jerry Boachi Dankwa. Please put your hands together for him as he comes forward.
Good morning, distinguished guests. Mr. Chair, please permit me to stand on the existing protocols already established. Ms. Abnamwa, the Managing Director of the GNC, was here yesterday, but unfortunately, she couldn't make it here today due to other personal engagements, and she's asked me to read this solidarity message on her behalf. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great honor and a deep sense of purpose that I joined this distinguished gathering of global financial market leaders at the ACI World Congress 2026, and how fitting that we do so here on an African soil in the heart of Ghana, the center of the world. This moment is more than a conference. It is a statement that Africa is not just a participant in global financial markets, it is a shaper of their future. On behalf of the Ghana Stock Exchange, I extend our warmest congratulations and solidarity to ACI Ghana on the successful organization of the ACI World Congress in Ghana. The theme, Elevating Markets, Empowering People, reflects a timely and important call to strengthen financial markets while ensuring that their impact ultimately translates into opportunities and prosperity for people and communities. We commend ACI Ghana for convening this important global gathering, bringing together industry leaders, policymakers, regulators, market practitioners, and key stakeholders for such meaningful engagements. Platforms like this play a critical role in promoting collaboration, innovation, and thought leadership across the financial ecosystem. GSC is happy to be associated with key stakeholders like the Bank of Ghana, SEC Ghana, Ghana Association of Banks, Ghana Securities Industry Association, and other partners whose support demonstrate the strength of collaboration within Ghana's financial sector. As a key institution within Ghana's capital market ecosystem, the Ghana Stock Exchange remains committed to supporting initiatives that strengthen markets, promote knowledge exchange, and create pathways for greater economic opportunity. We wish all distinguished participants a highly successful and impactful Congress today. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Ghana Stock Exchange. Our next Goodwill message will be taken from the Chamber of Corporate Trustees. Please, let's put our hands together for them as they step forward to deliver their Goodwill message. The Chamber of Corporate Trustees. In the absence, we'll move to the Ghana Association of Banks. Let's put our hands together for the representative from the Ghana Association of Banks as they step forward to deliver their Goodwill message. I believe their message would be that they congratulate ACI and they commend the good work that has been done, and they are supportive of all we are doing and will continue to collaborate with us. Please put your hands together for them. Thank you so much. We appreciate your support. Want to take this opportunity to acknowledge the presence of the Deputy Minister for Finance, Mr. Thomas Nyanko Ampim. Please put your hands together as we receive him. Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming. We would also acknowledge the presence of someone we already know and love, the first Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, someone who is very much in tune with the financial market. Please put your hands together for Dr. Zachary Mumuni. Thank you so much. Please put your hands together for my co-MC as she joins me on stage.
Thank you very much.
The Zambian princess.
Wow.
Thank you.
Prince, please. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now to dissect a conversation on the future of monetary governance, navigating digital transformation, interoperability, and financial stability, please help me make welcome to the stage the Governor of the Central Bank of Ghana, alongside ACI Ghana and Africa President Lawrence Boampong.
Okay.
A round of applause, please. But
we'll have them join us shortly, but we'll take a short musical break. Once the place is set up, we'll have that fireside. Please put your hands together as we have a short musical break. We'll be back in a bit. Thank you.
Yes.
ACI 2026 Financial Market Association, Africa we there. Ghana to the world. Oh no. Accra to the world right now. Future bright, we feel alright. Dance left, dance right. People coming side by side. Africa, we full of life. Hands up to the sky. Step one, slide. Step two, glide. Everybody catch the vibe. Africa worldwide. Step one, slide. Step two, glide.
In 2025, the Bank of Ghana reported a loss of 15.63 billion Ghana cedis. But without one major move, that loss would have been 33.19 billion Ghana cedis.
So what actually changed the picture? Gold. The bank sold refined gold it had accumulated under its domestic gold purchase program.
The gold was bought mainly in 2023 and 2024, when prices were relatively lower. By 2025, prices had increased. So when the bank sold it, it made 9.57 billion Ghana cedis in profit.
And there is also the savings jar effect, past gains from rising gold prices that were not actually recorded immediately.
When the gold was sold, those gains were released, adding 7.99 billion Ghana cedis.
So in total, gold delivered 17.56 billion Ghana cedis in relief. Without it, the loss jumped to 33.19 billion Ghana cedis.
So now, what was actually driving the losses underneath?
16.73 billion Ghana cedis open market operations. This is the bank paying commercial banks to hold on to excess cedis instead of lending them out. It's a standard tool used to reduce money in circulation in the economy, just to cool down inflation. But in 2025, it came at a very high cost, and that's 16.73 billion Ghana cedis.
9.05 billion Ghana cedis from other gold program losses. These are trading and operational losses outside the main gold sale, including the wind down of Gold for Oil program.
The exchange rate, 5.47 billion Ghana cedis stronger cedi impact. The cedi moved from 14.7 Ghana cedis to 10 cedis 45 pesos per dollar. That sounds positive, but only for importers. Here's the issue. The bank actually holds a lot of its assets in dollar terms. So when the cedi strengthens, these dollar assets lose value when converted back into cedi, leading to 5.47 billion Ghana cedis loss.
3.29 billion Ghana cedis from personnel costs. Staff costs increased significantly, driven by a rise in employee numbers.
Just note that gold didn't solve the problem. It actually just absorbed the shock.
And without that gold intervention, the bank's 2025 financial position would have been far worse.
For them, please. I think we can do better. Another round of applause. Thank you.
Very good.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning.
Awesome. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to this Fireside chat on the future of monetary governance, navigating digital transformation, interoperability, and financial stability. Now, across the world today, central banks and financial market authorities are navigating one of the most significant transitions in modern finance. The rapid evolution of digital payments, fintech innovation, data systems, AI, digital assets, and cross-border payment infrastructure is fundamentally reshaping how economies transact, how markets operate, and increasingly how monetary policy is transmitted. Now, at the same time, central banks must continue to preserve the core pillars of monetary and financial stability, maintain trust in the financial system, and ensure that innovation progresses responsibly and inclusively. For emerging markets, and particularly for Africa, this presents both a tremendous opportunity and an important policy challenge. Now, we're therefore privileged to have with us the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, whose leadership continues to shape important conversations around monetary policy, financial stability, market development, and digital financial innovation in Ghana and beyond. Governor, good morning and you're welcome.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Thank you for responding to our governor. Now, before we move into the conversation, let me first say that the African attire theme that we have adopted today has been well patronized by all delegates, both local and international. And Governor, I think you've taken the lead, and I think special recognition to our Deputy Finance Minister, who I apologize for not indicating the dress code. But on getting here, he went out and came back in his fugu. Please, let's acknowledge our Deputy Finance Minister. Thank you very much. Now, Governor, before we move on, you've had the opportunity to engage with delegates and participants yesterday when you were here and this morning. What has been your impression of this so far?
For me, remember just about a week or two ago, we had the 3i Africa Summit. It was very successful. It brought together the whole of Africa, central bank governors, innovators, everybody in one room, trying to learn from each other in terms of the progress that is being made in the area of innovation. So I see what is happening this week as similar to the 3i event. It was very successful. We got a clear understanding of where the various countries were. And for us in Ghana, we got the opportunity to share our experience and to outline what the vision is going forward. You know, I started my career at the central bank exactly 31 years ago.
Wow.
31 years ago. That was when I started my career. At the time, I want you to envision what it was like. There were no computers. The tables were full of folders and files, some very dusty ones. Nothing by way of what you see today. And so sometimes I reflect on the progress that we have made, how far we have made. In terms of payment systems development, the same thing.
Yeah.
I remember those days, you could pay in a check somewhere from Tamale. It would take 2 weeks or more for the checks to clear.
That's true.
And yet, interestingly, we thought life was normal. You know, so currently I think about it, and I do appreciate how far we have come. But at the same time, there's still a lot to do. For us at the central bank, it's a passion that we have in Ghana on innovation, because we believe that innovation is good, not just for monetary policy, but also for financial stability, for financial sector, financial markets development. The word is innovation, but at the same time, without compromising the systemic risks, the risks that could emerge as you innovate. So maybe down the chart, I can let you know some of the things we are doing. But it's exciting to see all of you. This is a common interest that we all have, to innovate, to make our work more efficient, and that is exactly what our passion is about.
Please, let's put our hands together for our governor. I think one thing is quite clear from what the governor said, the fact that there was an event about 2 weeks ago, and here we are again. It tells of the fact that the central bank is at the forefront of driving innovation across our markets. And for 3i summits and the ACI World Congress to happen in Accra, in Ghana, at this time, it tells that Ghana and Africa is the future. And so if you know you're proud to be an African, and if you know you're proud to be an international delegate who wants to be adopted as an African, please put your hands together for yourselves. Now, Governor, perhaps we would now delve into the broader picture. Central banking globally appears to be evolving well beyond its traditional mandates into areas such as digital infrastructure, interoperability, cybersecurity, data governance, and all that. Now, how do you see the role of central banks evolving over the next decade, particularly within emerging and African economies?
Yes, so when you talk about innovation, the functions of a central bank typically, to implement monetary policy, to promote, financial sector stability and what have you. I'll give you an example of what we did since we came into office last year. We noticed that there was little going on by way of, for example, artificial intelligence, data analytics, what have you. And so we decided to set up a department quickly to learn. So we set that up. And then we also observed that there was some activity to do with virtual assets, what you call stable coins and what have you. It's going on. But then there was very little visibility. And so again, we decided, set up a new department, pass a vast law, begin, to, introduce some level of, supervision there. And so far, those structures are in place. We are beginning to observe these to see how well we can regulate. Why do we do this? Just so we can have greater visibility, just so we can walk with the markets. If you look at Ghana's situation, we were quite late when it comes to fintechs, for example.
That's true.
By the time we had started that whole thing, the markets had gone ahead. Yeah. And I remember in 2016, when I was a deputy governor, there was no payment system department. We only had a banking department with one desk, which was doing very little. And I remember I went to my governor, I said, Mr. Governor, we are late. We are behind the markets. Let's set up a dedicated payment systems department so we can catch up. So that's how come in 2016 we set up the payment systems department. We populated it, we trained the staff, and then later on, the fintech department was carved up, and you can see so much has been going on in that space. Currently, one of the things we are thinking of is to have a dedicated, regulatory environment just for fintech regulation. That way we can specialize, that way we can allow them that space to go hand in hand with industry. So I'm sharing our experience for you to sort of appreciate how the whole evolution by way of central banking is working across countries. And it's not just in Ghana. We see it in a number of peer countries. We see it in South Africa. We see it in Kenya. Last year, we introduced something, a sort of forum for central bank governors to meet and to share ideas. And so last year, we brought to Accra a number of central bank governors across Africa. That program took place, I guess, right in this room. We were frank. We shared ideas, on some of these things. And we decided we would do it every other year. And so next year, there would be that forum once again. The good part was we agreed that next time we will invite industry, innovators, people like yourselves, so that together, regulators, innovators, investors, we move together. We believe that this approach, this consultative approach, is the right way to go. And so you'll hear from us next year when that program also takes off.
Our governor says we'll hear from him when that program takes place. But I think it's important to note that allowing for openness and consultative engagement is what can only drive our market forward. And as the governor said, better late than never. Yes, we're late to the party, but in the recent year, we have made some very good improvements in that area. So we'd like to acknowledge the central bank for that. And Governor, my next question actually had to do with how well we felt central banks were more adaptive to the fast pace of technological transformation and advancement, because there's always the impression that these evolutions, when they happen, central banks are not ready for them. And so it sort of stifles the sort of innovation we're expecting in the market. Now, one of the major themes that we see shaping this evolution is interoperability and integration across financial systems. And I recall yesterday in your speech, when you were delivering your keynote, you alluded to this and you indicated that the next phase of financial development in Africa will depend less on isolated national systems, and it will be more on how effectively countries are able to connect their payments, infrastructure, harmonize regulations, and build trust amongst jurisdictions. So now my question is, how critical is interoperability to Africa's financial agenda and future economic growth?
So fostering interoperability across financial infrastructures in Africa is critical indeed. You know about a lot of efforts that have gone on to promote trade across the sub-region. What is lagging behind is the payments and settlements, aspects. Someone says it is cheaper, for example, to send money across the oceans than it is to send money to another countries within the sub-region. And so, yes, we have a lot of work to do to support our people. Yes, a number of initiatives are ongoing. PAPS is doing its bit. Yeah. We also have some other related innovations that are underway. When we had 3I, some of those issues came up. At the level of central banks, we are supporting these. We do realize that integrating payment systems across the sub-region is the right way to go indeed. For us, we are working with AFC FTA, for example, because we notice we can use stable coins, for example, to address the cross-border payments issue, which will support the work of AFC FTA. And so we are working on some of those fronts, within a sandbox environment to start with, so as to be able to establish those platforms to support greater integration across the sub-region.
Thank you very much, Governor. Integration is key, and I think it's good to note that that's why we have representation from central banks across the region in this room seated with us. We have from Tanzania, from Zambia, from different countries here with us. Now, Governor, beyond integration itself, there is also the broader question of balancing innovation with stability. And today we know that central banks must encourage innovation while also protecting consumer, safeguarding trust, and maintaining systemic stability. I'm sure everybody in the room wants to find out, how should regulators strike the right balance between enabling innovation and preserving the sort of financial stability that we want to see?
So, central banking is all about trade-offs in the first place. Yeah. Inflation versus growth. There are trade-offs there. Promoting financial inclusion versus, ensuring financial stability. These are trade-offs. So innovation is just another, innovation versus stability is just another trade-off that central banks, have to balance. How do we do this? Regulatory sandboxes, innovation hubs. These offer a controlled environment within which these can be developed, but at the same time ensuring that you are regulating the risk, without, frustrating the technology.
Okay.
And so for us in Ghana, that is one, approach we've been adopting. Do not regulate the technology, but regulate the risk. Work with them, understand what it is about, so that you do not frustrate, you rather facilitate in your approach. And so, yes, at the 3I, we announced, for example, that we'll promote a sort of sub-regional sandbox framework, because we must learn together. Innovation hubs, we want to encourage some of these in almost every region in Ghana to promote learning, but at the same time in a controlled environment. So these are some of the approaches we are using to ensure that financial stability is not compromised at all.
I think one thing that is striking for me is the point you just made about sub-regional sandbox and all that. And it just reminds me of the saying that if you want to go fast, you go alone.
That is so true.
But if you want to go far, you go together.
You go together.
And so clearly it means that we need that togetherness and integration to take us to the next level and achieve the sort of financial stability we want to see. Another important dimension of this conversation relates to trust and governance within the increasingly digital financial ecosystem. Because we know that today trust is becoming central to the effectiveness of monetary and financial systems. Now, Governor, in your view, what must central banks, regulators, market participants, everybody sitting in this room, what must we do to sustain trust and confidence within this rapidly evolving digitally financial environment?
So sustaining trust, in my view, comes from a number of areas. From the perspective of the regulator, from the perspective of the market participants, the innovators, and then also from the perspective of the investors. For us regulators, maintaining trust, maintaining credibility is really one thing we take seriously. As a central bank, all you have to be able to anchor inflation expectations, for example, it's about preserving your credibility, your trust. And then on the part of the market participants, this is the way you treat your customers. And then on the perspective of investors, it's about your capital and how you scale. We believe that these three, players have to move all together, maintaining trust, preserving credibility. And one thing we've also found useful in Ghana is to have regular consultations among these three players. So for the first time last month, we decided to invite the CEOs of all fintechs that are operating in the country, to invite them to one breakfast, session. And so we met that morning. And for about an hour and a half, it was exciting. We listened to each other. They heard us, and we heard them. And together we agreed on how to go and where to go. And then we agreed that next time the banks also have to be involved because they are equal players. We agreed that the national switch operator also has to be involved. So that is the approach. In a consultative way, we believe we can move together, we can balance the risks, between innovation and stability and move in an efficient way. And that's one approach we will suggest.
So Governor, I think it's quite clear that we need all hands on deck.
That's true.
To make this possible. If we have to zero this specifically to African markets, we know Africa is often described as having the opportunity to leapfrog traditional financial infrastructure and help shape the future of modern finance. Now, what do you believe must happen over the next decade for us to fully harness transformation while ensuring and maintaining resilience, inclusion, and maintaining monetary stability?
So a number of things. The fact remains that we should continue to build the digital public infrastructure, that it's open, that is interoperable, and that is competition enhancing. And that is essential.
Very true.
On financial inclusion, we have to move along to promote financial inclusion, but not just in terms of access, in all the dimensions that matters. To give you some data, in Ghana, we still have some regions where you have barely 3 or 4 bank branches. I don't want to name the regions, just about 4 bank branches in the entire region. Now, in terms of financial inclusion, what can they do? They can only do so much. And so, again, that's why we are embracing technology. Because through innovation, we can reach out to all those people in that region, notwithstanding the few number of branches that they have. So financial inclusion is one. We must embrace financial inclusion. Then the next is resilience. Resilience in terms of the architecture that we are putting in place. We mentioned that we need to balance innovation versus financial stability. It is exciting we are putting the architecture in place. But don't forget the resilience is also key. Issues about cybersecurity are so important. So in Ghana currently, we are moving ahead with what we call the FICSOC. Because not only is it okay for one system to be secured, it makes sense for us all to be secured. And so we are able to observe the exposure that industry is facing, and in a timely manner, we are able to act proactively to address some of the risks that we face. Then we must also invest in our own analytical and supervisory capacity. Training, learning, peer learning, that has to be emphasized. And above all, as central banks, as they say, our functions continue to be the same. Innovation, yes, but our emphasis on the objectives of the central bank remains the same. The need to promote financial stability, need to promote, price stability. That remains paramount. And for that to happen, you must be able to anchor inflation expectations. Macroeconomic stability is indispensable. So it's a balance of several balls that you have to keep, moving on. But I believe that central banks in Africa, as I said, are moving in the right direction. We are working together. We met at the 3I Summit. Currently, we still have a number of central banks right here.
Yeah.
We have our own meeting later this afternoon among ourselves. We'll be discussing some of these new approaches and then learn from each other. We believe that this is the way to go. We can leapfrog. We can support the trade integration agenda. We can enhance the payment system rails. That way, we will catch up, with the markets and we'll move along together.
Thank you very much. Please put your hands together for our governor. Very, very insightful points he makes this morning. And one thing is crystal clear, the fact that there is a clear approach on how to tackle the concerns we're discussing this morning. And I'm excited that we're not doing this alone. He's doing this together with your good sales, market participants, and of course, other central banks in the region. So, Governor, I would want to ask, as I bring this conversation to an end, so where does institutions like ACI and market practitioners come in supporting you on this journey?
So financial markets play a key part, in, attaining our mandate. The markets are the medium through which our monetary policy works. And so financial market development is directly linked to the success of our programs. And for me, because innovation is playing a role in terms of what financial markets are doing, it is really, really important in terms of what ACI and other related groups are doing. And that is why we are happy to be supporting the program right here in Ghana. We'll encourage you to move on together. We'll encourage you to join hands with some of the sub-regional efforts at the central bank level, at the private sector level. It works together, and we need to move together within the framework of innovation, but at the same time promoting financial stability. So we are happy to be associated with this program. We look forward to the next one next year. We are engaged. Let's continue to learn together. Let's promote this peer learning environment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Governor says he looks forward to this next year. Rui, it means that the World Congress is likely to come back to Accra next year. So, Governor, as we bring the conversation to an end, on a lighter note, you give very insightful views on these issues, and I know it's been a very hectic week for you, MPC, and now you're here. Over the past 3 weeks, you had IMF issues to deal with. You had 3I, very busy. So how do you drift away from the realities of economics and markets? I saw you do an Agbaja display yesterday.
Oh, yes.
So what do you do?
Next time it should be Bobo, baby.
So how do you switch away from some of these economic realities when you get home? How do you just unwind?
So as part of the 3I event, I'm sure some people saw it, I was forced to go and play golf. And then when I took my first shot, it landed right in front of me.
Please put your hands together for the best golfer in the world. Right, so Governor, we would want to thank you very much for sharing your perspective with us this morning. Today's discussion has highlighted not only the scale of transformation taking place across global financial systems, but also the importance of ensuring that innovation remains anchored in trust, sound governance, and financial stability. For Africa, it is clear that the opportunity is significant, not just for us to simply participate in the future of global finance, but to increasingly help to shape it. On behalf of ACI Ghana, ACI Africa, and the broader ACI global community, we sincerely appreciate your leadership, Governor, your insights, and your continued support for the development of Africa's financial markets. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in appreciating the Governor of the Bank of Ghana,
Thank you.
Dr. Johnson
Thank you very
Isiama.
much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We'll take a photograph.
Okay.
Go to the middle? Okay. Right here, sir.
People coming side by side. Africa, we full of life. Hands up to the sky. Step one, slide.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Everybody catch the vibe. Africa worldwide.
Thank you, Mr. Governor. Thank you, Lawrence.
Step two, glide. Accra city full of light.
Please put your hands together once again for the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Pandit Esiama. Want to use this opportunity to acknowledge our partners and sponsors for this program. As mentioned earlier on, we are held by the kind courtesy of the Bank of Ghana, who are the host partner for this program. We've seen the governor here, the first deputy governor here, and many members of the Bank of Ghana team. We appreciate you. Thanks for your support. Thanks for your encouragement. Please, let's hear it for Bank of Ghana. Put your hands together for them once again. We also want to acknowledge our gold sponsors. We have among them Fidelity Bank Ghana Limited, Plurido, Mashreq, Stanbic Bank Ghana Limited, and GCB Bank PLC. Please let's hear it for our gold sponsors. Our silver sponsors include LSEG and Bloomberg, who are technology supporters for the financial markets. Please put your hands together for these as well. And for bronze, we have SG, that's Societe Generale Ghana, SGX, Continental Capital Markets, CWG Syria, 360T, GTCO, and Loros Africa. Let's hear it for our bronze sponsors as well. Our partners for this program include the Ghana International Bank, GIB, Frontclear, the UAE FMA, Absa Bank Ghana Limited, NIB PLC, ACI UK, Integral, Credstone, the Ghana Stock Exchange, the Ghana Tourism Development Company. About them, GTDC, promoting tourism even in conferences like this. I understand they have a special package for our international guests. On Saturday morning, you are getting an exclusive tour of the city of Accra. And we'll send you more information about that. Please put your hands together for the Ghana Tourism Development Company, something we should look forward to. Our partners also include Templates, include FinCap, CBG, Consolidated Bank Ghana, 6 Degrees, who are the power behind the performance you see over here. We have the National Banking College, Sapon Capital, Savvy Securities, and Prudential Bank Limited. Please, let's hear it for our partners. Put your hands together for them. Okay. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's also further information I need to share. Some of our corporate partners are having a corporate exhibition on the main lobby floor. The hall is called Capitol. During our coffee breaks and lunch break, we urge you to kindly pass through that hall and experience whatever it is that they have to offer. In the spirit of Africanness as well, we have the African market that's directly outside in this area. Please do well to pass by as well. Get your African necklace, your bracelet, a nice agbada like mine. Am I not looking beautiful? Yes, you can look. That can be your testimony too. Please go there and experience the beauty of our African market. Ladies and gentlemen, at this moment, we want to take a special message, a welcome, and a goodwill message from the Deputy Minister of Finance by the person of Honorable Thomas Nyako Ampin, LP. Please put your hands together as he comes forward to deliver his message.
Thank you. I bring you greetings from the Finance Minister for the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Akufo-Addo, who was scheduled to deliver this statement. And to say that when I walked in suit, the MCs decided to make my life so uncomfortable. It made me feel so bad that I had to rush to go and look for a smock to wear. And also, especially when I heard that our friends from Zambia are here, I thought I should also appear in one. It is an honor to welcome you all to Accra for the 2026 ACI FMA World Congress. Ghana is deeply privileged to host this important Congress of global financial market leaders, policymakers, regulators, investors, and innovators at a time when the world economy is undergoing profound transformation. We meet at a defining moment in the history of global finance. Across the world, markets are being reshaped in real time by geopolitical fragmentation, technological disruption, artificial intelligence, climate transition pressures, sovereign debt vulnerabilities, and shifting global capital flows. Yet, amid this uncertainty, one truth remains constant, and that is strong economies are built on strong institutions, and strong financial markets are built on confidence. That is confidence in policy direction, confidence in fiscal discipline, confidence in institutions, and confidence in the future. It is therefore both timely and significant that the global financial community has gathered here in Accra under the theme, Elevating Markets, Empowering People. Because ultimately, financial markets must do more than move capital. They must expand opportunity. They must finance innovation. They must support enterprise, and they must improve the lives of people. This Congress is taking place at a period when the global economy continues to navigate considerable uncertainty. Climate risks, geopolitical tensions, elevated borrowing costs, and tighter global financial conditions continue to test the resilience of markets and institutions worldwide. For emerging and developing economies, the challenge is even more profound. How do we build resilient economies while sustaining growth, attracting investment, and protecting livelihoods? This is why confidence matters. Over the last 17 months, Ghana has undertaken one of the most significant macroeconomic adjustment and recovery programs in its recent history. Supported by the IMF and anchored on difficult but necessary reforms, government has focused on restoring macroeconomic stability, rebuilding investor confidence, strengthening public finances, and protecting the foundations of long-term growth. These reforms were to stabilize the economy, restore credibility, strengthen market confidence, and reposition Ghana within an increasingly competitive global economic environment. Today, we can all attest to the results. Macroeconomic stability has been restored. Investor sentiment has actually strengthened. Importantly, sovereign risk perceptions have improved as well. Recent assessments by international rating agencies confirm this. These developments matter greatly because the relationship between fiscal stability, sovereign credibility, and financial sector resilience is direct and undeniable. When sovereign fundamentals weaken, financial systems come under pressure, borrowing costs rise, liquidity conditions tighten, investor confidence weakens, and banks face higher risk exposure and reduced access to affordable financing. When fiscal discipline is restored and policy credibility is strengthened, however, confidence returns to markets, capital flow increases, financial institutions become more resilient, lending conditions improve, and the private sector gains greater room to invest, innovate, and grow. This is why macroeconomic stability matters. It is the foundation upon which resilient, competitive, and inclusive financial markets are built. Ghana's successful completion of its IMF-supported ECF program marks an important turning point in this journey. Our transition into a non-financing technical assistance policy coordination instrument with the IMF reflects government's continued commitment to responsible macroeconomic management and structural reforms. This transition sends a powerful signal to domestic and international markets that Ghana is moving from a phase of economic stabilization towards a phase focused on sustaining growth, strengthening institutions, and accelerating transformation. As we consolidate these gains, government is equally focused on repositioning Ghana for the future through our bold and transformational new economy agenda. This agenda is about fundamentally re-engineering the structure of the Ghanaian economy for the future, moving from extraction to value addition, from informality to productivity, from vulnerability to resilience, from dependence to competitiveness. We want Ghanaian businesses to compete globally. We want African capital to finance African transformation. And we want our financial markets to become engines of innovation, enterprise, and long-term prosperity. We seek to build a Ghanaian and African economy where young people create technology, technology companies instead of only searching for jobs, where local industries compete globally, where agriculture becomes commercially integrated and export-oriented, where digital finance reaches every community, and where financial markets become engines for national transformation rather than merely channels for liquidity management. But let me emphasize this clearly. None of these transformations can happen without strong and sophisticated financial markets. I can see signals that our revered Vice President is about to enter. But let me emphasize this clearly. None of these transformations can happen without strong and sophisticated financial markets. The transformation journey will require patient capital. It will require innovative financial structures. It will require deeper and more integrated bond markets. It will require blended finance solutions. It will require venture capital and private equity. It will also require sustainable finance instruments. Africa today stands at the center of an important transformation in global finance. By 2050, 1 in every 4 people in the world will be African. The continent possesses the world's youngest population, rapidly expanding digital ecosystems, rising urbanization, and enormous untapped investment potential. Yet Africa still receives a disproportionately small share of global capital flows. This must change. Africa must no longer be viewed merely as a destination for aid, but as a destination for investment. According to the African Development Bank, the continent faces an annual infrastructure financing gap estimated at between 68 billion and 108 billion United States dollars. This challenge cannot be solved by governments alone. It requires deep, credible, and innovative financial markets capable of mobilizing long-term capital at scale. The question is no longer whether Africa has potential. The real question is whether our financial systems are sufficiently prepared to finance Africa's transformation at the scale and speed required. Do we have markets deep enough to mobilize long-term capital? Are our institutions strong and credible enough to sustain investor confidence? Can our policy and regulatory frameworks encourage innovation while preserving stability? And are we prepared to convert African savings into productive investments capable of driving lasting prosperity across the continent? These are the defining questions that will shape Africa's economic future, and Ghana intends to be part of that answer. The future of global finance will not be shaped only in traditional financial centers. Increasingly, it will also be shaped in places like Accra, Kigali, Lagos, Lusaka, Nairobi, and across a rising and increasingly connected Africa. The future of global finance will belong to economies that are stable, innovative, resilient, and forward-looking. Ghana is determined to be one of those economies. This Congress should serve as a platform for building the partnership, innovations, and financial architecture that will define the next era of growth, resilience, and shared prosperity for Africa and the world. And as Ghana hosts the world here in Accra today, we do so with confidence, we do so with optimism, and a firm belief that the strongest chapters of Africa's economic history still lie ahead. The present moment demands ambition, confidence, and decisive action. This is not a time for hesitation. It is a time for bold reforms that strengthen confidence in our economies and deepen trust in our institutions. It is time to mobilize capital towards transformation, infrastructure, technology, industrialization, entrepreneurship, and sustainable growth. And ultimately, it is a time for Africa to rise through strong, resilient, and forward-looking financial markets that can finance the continent's aspirations and secure its place within the future of the global economy. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, shall we rise to receive the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Her Excellency Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, Prof. Please, shall we resume our seats for a bit? We'll take a musical break and then we'll usher in.
Come. In fact, let's.
Accra to the world right now. Future bright, we feel alright. Dance left, dance right. ACI people coming side by side. Africa, we full of life. Hands up to the sky. Step one, slide. Step two, glide. Everybody catch the vibe. Africa worldwide. Step one, slide. Step two, glide. Accra city full of light. ACI worldwide. Welcome to the Ghana vibe. Everybody feel alright. From New York down to Dubai. Now we dancing side by side. People coming from around. Different voices, different sounds. One big family worldwide. Accra shining with pride. This no be regular conference. Global leaders in the dance. First time gonna host the world. Let the energy explode. One rhythm, one people, one Africa, one vibe, one rhythm, one people, one Africa, one vibe. Accra to the
conceptualization of this band began way back in School for the Blind. Okay. And it will be very intriguing for people to know that a visually impaired person is blessed with what we refer to as perfect pitch in music. It means somebody can sing, and without necessarily being by the keyboard, one can be able to identify the key with which the person is singing.
Individually, we're trying to project individual talent. Like our drummer, who is right there, who went for World Dramathon.
If you're not pirating whatever it is, you just put a disclaimer on whatever you're putting on social media. And I think that's it.
Hello, my name is Pamela from Customer Service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,000 247.
Hey, Abili, wabedim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind your ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account. 100,100,100.
Thanks for sending your bank card details.
Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Don't get played. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, please, I'm calling from Customer Experience Center.
The bottle line has been drawn and history is calling. 2 giants, 1 trophy. Will this be Arsenal's first ever Champions League trophy? Or is PSG lifting it again for the 2nd time in a row? Join your #1 entertainment radio station, Hits 103.9 FM, at the Aviation Social Center as we watch Arsenal versus PSG battle on a giant screen. Ghana, get ready for the Hits FM Rep Your Jersey 2026. This year, we've ramped up the excitement with sports quiz, soccer tournament, the Champions League anthem competition, esports, JAMA, and more. All roads lead to the Aviation Social Center. Swag up your jerseys. Wear your football club jersey proudly. And let's all meet at the Aviation Social Center from 10 a.m. to late. Mark the date, Saturday, 30th May 2026. And get ready for lots of fun with friends and family. Entertainment with your favorite Hits FM personalities. Music with a Hits FM DJ squad. And amazing prizes to be won from 10 a.m. to the climax of the UEFA Champions League finale match in grand style. The Hits FM Rep Your Jersey 2026 is powered by Joy Sports with support from Joy Prime, JoyNews, Joy FM, and My Joy Online, and proudly sponsored by TCL, Inspire Greatness, Star Oil, still quality and affordable fuel for all. Soccer Bet, your best bet for sports betting. Didi Shito, Efiedienye, Heineken, share the passion. Twisco chocolate food drink, power your dream. Ashesi University, educating the next generation of ethical and entrepreneurial leadership for Africa. Ayuda, Ghana's #1 services app, Abaco Services Baby, Franco Trading Enterprise, still phone Papa Pafi, day by day men, strong and refined, the skincare you deserve. Heritage Christian University, educating compassionate entrepreneurial leaders. Citizen Sports Mall, level up your game. Aqua Natural Mineral Water, Obenumanum Bium, DSTV, feel every moment. The Hits FM Rep Your Jersey 2026.
From Africa to football's biggest stage, you are invited to be a part of it. Feel the rush, the passion of every moment. Don't just watch the game, live the FIFA World Cup experience. With VIP seatings, exclusive lounges, gourmet dining, priority access at every turn, luxury all around you. Seamless, effortless, exceptional. Because this is more than a ticket. This is your FIFA World Cup 2026 experience. Brought to you by Match Experience Hospitality.
Call 055 155 1119 or visit matchexphospitality.com to secure your packages or walk into any Absa Bank branch, our official banking partner, for more information and payment.
June to 19 July,
everything can wait. The FIFA World Cup 2026. Catch all 104 matches, much as little as 58 Ghana cedis, live on SuperSport, only on DSTV.
From Africa to football's biggest stage, you are invited to be a part of it. Feel the rush, the passion of every moment. Don't just watch the game, live the FIFA World Cup experience. With VIP seatings, exclusive lounges, gourmet dining, priority access at every turn, luxury all around you. Seamless, effortless, exceptional. Because this is more than a ticket. This is your FIFA World Cup 2026 experience. Brought to you by Match Experience Hospitality. Call 055 155 1119 or visit matchexphospitality.com to secure your packages or walk into any Absa Bank branch, our official banking partner, for more information and payment.
We'll take the Ghana national anthem. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You may resume your seats. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, it's a pleasure to have you in our midst for the ACI World Congress happening right here in Accra, Ghana. We understand you took time out of other engagements to be here with us, and we are grateful to you. We also recognize that you are representing in your beautiful African outfit, and we appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. We will take a few videos to tell us about the ACI World Congress and what happened yesterday. Thank you.
22nd of May 2026 at Kempinski Hotel. Join us as we explore new horizons, foster global partnerships, and drive the future of the global financial markets. Save the date, save your seat. Final registrations are ongoing on the website www.kra2026.com. See you there.
Financial Market Association, Africa we there. Accra to the world. Oh no. Accra to the world right now. Future bright, we feel alright. Dance left, dance right. People coming side by side. Africa we full of life. Hands up to the sky. Step one, slide. Step two, glide. Everybody catch the vibe. Africa worldwide. Step one, slide. Step two, glide. Accra city full of light. ACI worldwide. Welcome to the Ghana vibe. Everybody feel alright. From New York down to Dubai. Now we dancing side by side. People coming from around, different voices, different sounds. One big family worldwide. Aka shining with bright. This no be regular conference. Global leaders in the dance. First time gonna host the world. Let the energy explode.
The ACI World Congress is happening right here in the heart of Ghana, Accra, on the 21st and 22nd of May 2026 at Kempinski Hotel. Join us as we explore new horizons, foster global partnerships, and drive the future of the global financial markets. Save the date, save your seat. Final registrations are ongoing on the website www.cra2026.com.
Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Super.
That was amazing. Go ahead.
The ACI Financial Markets Association is an association of various financial market professionals all over the world. This year, we've had the privilege of bringing all these people to the beautiful city of Accra for the World Congress. There's one very important thing that the ACI Worldwide is looking to do, and it's in the promotion of women in financial markets. Sibiso, you can tell us more about that.
Absolutely. Madam Vice President, it's actually very interesting to know that, as part of the many accolades and hats you've worn, you've also served in different capacities, holding the position of Vice Chancellor in Ghana, and also the past immediate president of the Forum for African Women Educationalists and chairperson of the Africa Board. It may be of interest to you that, the ACI Financial Markets Association is very big on promoting inclusion and diversity, as well as promoting the agenda to support women in global markets, as well as, growing and supporting the next generation of leaders.
Super. Please put your hands together for ACI as we continue to promote diversity and inclusion. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me joy to call upon for this special keynote from the special guest of honor for this occasion, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. She's going to be delivering a message from the presidency to the financial markets. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise to your feet as we receive the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman.
Thank you very much. Please take your seats. Honorable Ministers of State and other government officials, the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, the President and leadership of the ACI Financial Markets Association, and leadership of the ACA, the ACA Ghana and other national associations, central bank governors and regulators, distinguished delegates, Nime, Name, are they here? Okay, just consider yourself Nime and Name. And ask the person sitting by you, if it's a Ghanaian, what it means. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Excuse us for coming in late, and thanks for the excuse you've given already. And I also want to thank the lady for expressing interest in inclusion with emphasis on women. That is very, very important. It is a pleasure to welcome all of you to Accra on behalf of His Excellency the President of the Republic, John Dramani Mahama. For decades, ACI has helped promote professionalism, market conduct, education, and ethical standards in wholesale financial markets. It is therefore worth noting that Ghana is the first sub-Saharan African country, after South Africa 17 years ago, to host this World Congress. This reflects the growing importance of African financial markets and their expanding role in global market development. The theme for this Congress reminds us that markets exist to serve people, mobilize capital, support enterprise, price risk, allocate resources, and create opportunity. To elevate markets, therefore, we must empower the people who build, regulate, participate in, and depend on them. Ladies and gentlemen, the world is still adjusting to the aftershocks of inflation, higher interest rates, sovereign debt pressures, geopolitical tensions, climate risk, supply chain shifts, rapid technological disruption. The list is endless. For emerging and frontier markets, these changes affect exchange rates, fiscal planning, trade finance, portfolio flows, debt sustainability, and the cost of capital. They shape businesses' investment capacities, government planning, and the ability of households to live with dignity. We cannot build strong economies on weak markets. Resilient markets cannot be built without trust. And trust cannot exist without competence, ethics, and robust institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, we often speak of capital markets in terms of instruments, yields, liquidity, and infrastructure. Of course, these are important. But behind every trade, policy decision, and market innovation are people making judgments. That is why we need professionals who understand their products and their purpose, manage risk with integrity, interpret data with discernment, and uphold conduct as the basis of the market's credibility. We also need regulations and regulators, institutions, and professional bodies to prepare people for the complexity and pace of modern markets. Our continent has a young population. We have expanding cities, growing digital adoption, and high entrepreneurial energy. If we invest in young people's skills, they will participate in these markets and even go beyond to contribute to designing them. But we must be deliberate and build trust through fair and consistent standards and institutions that remain relevant under pressure. This matters even more now that financial systems are becoming faster, more digital, and increasingly automated. Discussions of markets today must take artificial intelligence into account. AI is reshaping how information is processed, risk is modeled, fraud is detected, and decisions are made. These create new possibilities. It can improve speed, reduce cost, expand access, and help institutions identify previously unnoticed patterns. But innovation also raises difficult questions about accountability and how human responsibility is preserved in increasingly automated systems. For countries like Ghana, the challenge is to build digital capacity while also building digital trust. We must invest in data governance, cyber resilience, local skills, regulatory capacity, and ethical frameworks. We must also ensure that smaller institutions and emerging markets are not left behind. Ghana holds this Congress at a time when our own financial markets are evolving. We recognize the need to deepen domestic capital markets, strengthen the foreign exchange market, improve market transparency, support long-term investment, and build markets that meet the needs of both users and investors. Across the continent as well, we are working to improve payment systems, strengthen regulatory cooperation, expand local currency financing, develop yield curves, deepen pension and insurance access, and connect our markets more effectively. The African Continental Free Trade Area reminds us that the future of African prosperity will not be built on fragmented markets. This is why the work of the ACI and its national associations is important to help create a professional community across borders, turn market conduct into shared practice, and ensure that finance is ethical. And so, as you deliberate over the coming days, I want to invite you respectfully to keep these 3 points in mind. First, elevating markets by strengthening trust. Innovation and competitiveness will rest on transparency and respect for the rules. Second, empowering people by investing in skills. The next generation of market professionals must be technically capable, ethically grounded, and globally connected. Third, using technology responsibly. AI and digital finance must be tools for better decision-making. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Ghana is honored to host you. May this Congress form new partnerships and strengthen existing ones while generating actionable ideas. I welcome you again to Accra. Enjoy our food. And I wish all of you a productive Congress. I want to thank you for your kind attention.
Your Excellency, please you stand to take a few pictures with us. Would have the Governor and Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, the Deputy Minister of Finance, and governors from other visiting countries to kindly join to the leadership of the bank, the central banks of other visiting countries to kindly join for the first picture. ACI Financial Markets Association leadership, ACI Ghana leadership, please stand by to join them for the next picture. ACI Financial Markets Association leadership and ACI Ghana leadership, please stand by for the next picture. Kindly join them now. ACI Financial Markets Association leadership and ACI Ghana leadership, kindly join them for the next picture. Okay. We shall remain standing for the national anthem. Please remain standing while the Vice President resumes her position. The Vice President will take leave of us now. Please put your hands together. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your presence and your time and the great work of insight shared at the ACI World Congress held in Accra, Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, you could kindly resume your seats. Kindly stay seated. Reminded that this World Congress is brought to us by the kind courtesy of Fidelity Bank, Mashek, GCB Bank PLC, and Pluridio, who are our gold sponsors. We are backed by the kind partnership of our host partner, the Bank of Ghana. We shall take a musical break, after which we'll take the next panel discussion. Thank you.
ACI 2026 Financial Market Association Africa we there. Oh no. Accra to the world right now. Future bright, we feel alright. Dance left, dance right. People coming side by side. Africa, we full of life. Hands up to the sky. Step one, slide. Step two, glide. Everybody catch the vibe. Africa worldwide. Step one, slide. Step two, glide. Accra city full of light. ACI worldwide. Welcome to the Ghana vibe. Everybody feel alright. From New York down to Dubai. Now we dancing side by side. People coming from around. Different voices, different sounds. One big family worldwide. Accra shining with pride. This will be regular conference.
We were living in one of the pavilion behind. Later that we had this new building. Then we now moved to the new building.
You did a lot. They have come here and asked us
and they are continuing our 6 unit classroom building.
A lot has changed. After documentary, we had 60 tables and chairs, then a 10-bedroom teacher accommodation.
We have never been fair to these young children. The children are suffering. We applied for school feeding, which will have also helped to increase the enrollment.
The impact has been great in terms of...
To markets of the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe, Mr. Isaac Muhanga, Chief Operations Officer of the Central Bank of Zambia, Mr. Jimmy Appa, Director of Financial Markets of the Bank of Uganda, and Dr. Yamungu Kayandabila, Deputy Governor, Economic and Financial Policies of the Bank of Tanzania. May we please give them a round of applause just as they take center stage? Thank you very much.
Hello?
Madam Moderator, over to you.
Yeah. Hello? Good morning, everyone. We're actually really excited about this discussion because it's after both the Vice President, the Governor, and the Deputy Minister's conversation, and that actually aligns with a lot of what we were thinking. So we're looking at, today our discussion is around interoperable, it's a mouthful, interoperable fiat-based stablecoins across Africa. And we understand that ACI is very much, I apologize, I would need to introduce myself properly. My name is Ethel Kofi. I am CEO of Adult Technology Consulting, and we have 4 central banks here with us. We have Mr. Galanton Mawire, Deputy Director of the Financial Markets, Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. We have Mr. Jimmy Appa, Director of Financial Markets, Bank of Uganda. We have Dr. Yamungu Kayandabila. I've been trying all day to get it right. I hope I tried.
You'll get it.
And then we have Mr. Isaac Muhanga, Chief Operations Officer of the Bank of Zambia. And we're just this conversation is trying to look at, well, how do we regulate? What are the global interoperable conversations that we're trying to have here around fiat-based stable coins? But for us, the deeper question, I think this morning we had breakfast, we had a conversation, is how African central banks can help shape interoperable stable bank regulation in a way that reflects Africa's monetary realities. Our monetary realities are, we have a bit of a fragmented cross-border system. We have mobile money wallets. We are very different sets of circumstances as opposed to, countries outside of the continent. One of the most interesting parts this morning while we were discussing was from Mr. Jimmy Appa, who said to us that if you take away the fact that there's a blockchain component, if a fiat-based stablecoin is backed by a local currency, it is essentially mobile money. It is just sitting on a different set of rails. And that, I think, will shape our conversation. That maybe we started it first. They just added blockchain to it. We've been doing this for a while. Now, so we're going to start our first round of questions. We're going to look at the use cases that affect Africa, that are strongest for use in Africa, right? In reality, our markets are dealing with a very distinct pain points. We have broken cross-border settlement rails. We have dollar liquidity issues. We have high remittance cost. Before we regulate, we must accurately diagnose the problem we are actually trying to solve. So starting from Mr. Mawire, the question is, if you had to choose one, what is the single most urgent, credible use case for fiat-backed stable coins in Africa today? And are stable coins generally the superior tool to answer those, or are we just finding workarounds for bad railing systems that we have? Mr. Marire, I'd like to start with you.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ethel. I think when you look at the most credible case in terms of the fiat-based instruments, you're looking at the cross-border and the trade, which is very critical because they have to be operating on a cross-border basis. It's very critical in this particular case.
Yeah. Maybe let me do a follow-up. What specific use case do you think that central banks must suppress?
I think when you look at the worst case scenario, in terms of suppressing it, you just need to ensure that you identify the issues related to risk. That's very important.
No, like the central bank governor said, he said regulate the risk and not the technology. Right? That's a very, very, very strong point. Mr. Apa, what is Uganda's perspective on this? What is your perspective on this?
Thank you very much. I like the fact that you acknowledge that if we are talking about fiat-backed stable coins, then you probably have to look at what type of fiat are you looking at. Is it the domestic currency or USD, Euro-backed stable coins? So then if it's backed by domestic currency, then it collapses to mobile money.
Yeah.
And so mobile money is widely used for retail settlements, retail payments, cross-border transfers, domestic transfers, and that is the only difference with stablecoin is that mobile money is not is not on the blockchain technology. And if you have to, if it is backed by the US dollar or euro, then you need because then you need to ensure that there is monetary sovereignty. You need monetary policy to ensure macroeconomic stability. And so for it to be effective, then you should guard against monetary sovereignty. And then the most use case that could give rise to loss of monetary sovereignty is cross-border transfers. A case where domestic residents are substituting domestic currency with the dollars. There you are losing monetary sovereignty. Yeah.
Okay. So monetary sovereignty it's a big topic when we come to virtual assets, stable coins, something we will be talking about. So monetary sovereignty is important. Thank you very much. Doctor, what do you think what is the most credible use case? Even not for Africa, just for in your region. What do you think works and what do you think doesn't work?
Thank you, Ethel. And since this is my first time to speak, I would like to join others, previous speakers to really, thank, the ACI Global for organizing this, but our host, Ghana, to host this Congress. I think it has been fantastic, and congratulations to you. Well, I think Governor Bank of Ghana, I think, has preempted us, really, I mean, in this discussion, because when he was speaking here, I think he spoke, he gave it all, really, on stable coins. Maybe a bit of context. Myself and Apa, we come from East Africa, where, it's a cradle of mobile money. Yeah, so if I want to send money to Kampala in Tanzania, while in Tanzania I can do that using M-Pesa, Airtel Money, Tigo Pesa, you name it. So, but again, you can use, of course, banks, but in East Africa, we have our central bank, a payment system. It's called East African Payment System, within the East African countries. But Tanzania belongs also to SADC. We have SADC RTGS. We can also still do, all those cross-border payment systems. But we have now, back home at the Bank of Tanzania, we are now into a second generation, if I put that way. We have introduced, fast, payment, platform called Tanzania Instant Payment System, which is a national switch, guaranteing 100% in interoperability, be it mobile, companies, banks, you name it, all these financial providers, to have a switch common, to do all these transactions. So actually we are going to the next phase, which we are going to have cards, local cards, in Tanzania, using the tips. I know some other countries, of course, within the region, they're also doing that. I think in Rwanda they have a national switch. Uganda, probably they're also doing that. But Kenya is also doing that. But we were first in the region to do that. And we have been, sharing our experience, with our peers within the region. So if I single out a use case for stablecoin, really, I will see the cross-border, but it has really to in sync with the domestic systems. As the governor said this morning, for us central bankers, we care of stability. This is very important. So I think whatever we are going to do, because I think we are still on a learning curve, we have to synchronize the stablecoins with our monetary system. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I stop here at this point. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Yamungu. So for you in East Africa, cross-border is not necessarily the strongest use case because there is a lot of infrastructure in place right now.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. So where do you think, and this is my follow-up question, where do you think is the strongest use case for your specific region but what I could do is I'll go to Mr. Muhanga and then I will come back to you on that. Because I think it's worth understanding that if we are going to not just adopt global standards, we must understand critically where it works for us, what our different set of circumstances are in Africa. So let me, and I'll come back to you. Mr. Muhanga, Zambia, where do you think your strongest use cases are for fiat-based, fiat-backed stable coins, and where do you think you wouldn't touch it with a long pole?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. But before I answer your question, let me say two things. First of all, what an excellent reception it was for some of us. Ghana, well done for organizing this workshop. I think from the airport right up to this point, everything has been on spot. And I want to say thank you to Ghana ACI for having us here, Ghana nationals for having us here. I think you deserve a round of applause from me. And then the second point, yesterday I think the directors of ceremony told us that we should wear something. I think I'm going to speak on behalf of my colleague here. It's not that we are cheeky, but this is probably beyond, as they say, beyond circumstances, and we couldn't control those circumstances. And so that's why we end up wearing wrong clothes today. Now, coming to your point, I think that I can tweak the question where we need to be honest. What is the question? What is the problem that we are trying to resolve by adopting stable coins? Okay. In my mind, when I hear that question, I always say that the African continent does not have a single payments problem. In fact, we have multiple fragmentation problems, expensive remittances, slow cross-border settlement, limited access to hard currency, things like that. And I think that, is there a place for stable coins in resolving these issues that I've mentioned and other things, the weak interoperability between national payment systems, and also the dependence on correspondent banking networks outside of Africa? Can stable coins resolve these issues? I think one of the most credible use case for me is in cross-border trade and settlements, particularly for SMEs. And I think SMEs is the kind of sector that gets troubled when it comes to the things that I have just listed out. They often face high FX conversion risks, multiple days. I think we were talking about where we've come from when it came to checking. I think the governor did give that. We've done quite a lot up to this time. The world has done so much up to this point, but there is still some residual issues around that. So stable coins can reduce frictions, I think, for me, that the fact that it can provide near instant settlement, then it can add value to global trade. But however, they are not, stable coins are not automatically the right instrument in all circumstances. There are certain areas where e-money, for instance, like my colleague has said here, where it shines. And so the bringing in of stable coins into that ecosystem, the question you want to ask yourself again is, does it make things easier, or it just brings complexity in the way people want to trade? Okay. Is it, what is it that e-money is failing to do that stablecoin can come and resolve? So in an environment where culturally you are all used and you've seen so much benefits when it comes to e-money, what value does stablecoin bring in? So in short, I think for me a compelling case is that stablecoins, yes, adds value in instance of payments. It adds value in certain arrangements, especially if you know that the existing infrastructure breaks down. On e-money, for instance, can stablecoin come in? I think there is some value, but over and above that, I think when you are trying to contextualize it to the African problems, then you have to think a little bit beyond what I've said.
Okay. So you think that, especially around SMEs, cross-border trade and settlement, that's a very important use case for fiat-based, fiat-backed stable coin. All right. Dr. Yamungu, let me maybe add another question to your question so that you can answer it a little bit more, right? So central banks are not opposed to digital innovation. Anybody who is in the space knows that. But they are fiercely protective of monetary sovereignty. That's important. But the moment a foreign fiat-based stablecoin becomes easier to hold and to store than a domestic currency, you you no longer have just innovation, you have a subtle digital dollarization of your ecosystem. So my question in addition to the first question is, how then do you allow, as a central bank, allow legitimate high-speed cross-border trade innovation without accidentally letting a digital USD token erode the sovereignty of, for instance, the Tanzanian shilling and in its retail local markets? And that's a big conversation I think that is hard, central banks are having across. Yeah. How do we begin to solve that problem?
Thank you. And again, I mean, I think we have started responding to this in the first round of your questions. I think we have to be clear here. You know, stablecoins are issued by private. You know, these are private, virtual assets. Yeah. So I think the first line of defense.
And if you just been watching us, you just watched the ACI Congress there, where there's some discussions were going on about the monetary space and the financial market as well. But here in studio is our special edition or special dialogue program put together by Action Aid on the economic justice as we look at Ghana's exit of the current ECF program, challenges and prospects and impact. I'll be engaging John Nkwa. He is the country director of Action Aid. Madam Mary Ada, she's with the Transparency International Ghana. Samuel Bekwing is executive director for Center for Extractive Development Africa, and also be joined by another economist as we have our own discussion in here about Ghana's exit, or Ghana bringing an end to the current ECF program and what is next for the Ghanaian economy. My name is George Afia. I'll be your host.